If you've ever tried vibe coding, you've probably run into issues as soon as it comes to integrating a database. It can be a massive headache to try and figure out and work out how to build your tables in your database and how to get it set up and integrated into your app without security vulnerabilities and without it breaking all the time. In this video, I'm going to show you a really simple and easy way to integrate databases into your app using template code. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration. At the moment, I've got two tables already created. I'll go through how I created them and how we build these in a minute. But first of all, we've got the profiles table and we've got the pending profiles. We're just going to focus on the profiles table for now. This is where all of our user accounts are going to go. I'm also using Clerk for authentication. Now, you don't need to worry too much about this because it doesn't necessarily apply too much to this video. But what we're going to do is create a new account, and we should see a new user show up here, and we should also see the user show up in our database. So let's just come back to the app, and this is part of a template. So we've already got the website built and the sign in and sign up pages already created. We're just going to go to sign up, and I'm going to go ahead and write out a password. So now we're going to go ahead and click continue. It's going to create our account, and we're going to receive a confirmation email to make sure that our account or our email is actually valid. So all we're going to do is type in that confirmation code, and there we go. We have success, and what it will do is redirect us directly into the dashboard of our app. And we also have payment plans already integrated into this app as well. Now that's a video for another time, but you can see we now have logged into our app. We have our account here. If we come to our database, you can see it's refreshed with our user. It's given us a membership plan of free. You can see here we are on the free plan, 0 out of 5 credits used. What we can actually do is come to that user in the database, and if you come along here, you can see this user is now already in the database here. And if we come into our Clerk account, you can see the user has been created here. So all of this is already set up and integrated because we are using a CodeSpring boilerplate. If you go ahead and try CodeSpring, the link is down below in the description, you can actually clone this boilerplate here, which basically means every app that you build will automatically have a website pre-built for you, ready to go. That'll look like this. User accounts will already be integrated and ready to get set up. Database will already be linked, and it's really easy to create these tables. So how do we actually do this? What does this look like on the back end, and how can we create new tables for our app? Well, in our previous video, we actually started building this Linktree app here. So what we're going to do in this video is continue from there, and we're going to build new tables into our database to make sure the data that we add in here is stored permanently. So let me give you an example of how this database works. Down here you can see we're on the free plan. Okay, if we come back to our account here and we swap this from free to pro, and we scroll along here and we set the usage credits to 1,000, and maybe we've used 367 of our total credits so far. If we come back to our app, let's just refresh the page. You can see here we're now on the pro plan. We've used 367 credits. Every time we refresh the page, that information is always going to be there. I could go ahead and I could set this to 1,000, for example. So we've used up all of our credits. We can come back to the app here and you can see it says, cool, well, you've used all of your credits. Maybe you should go ahead and upgrade to the pro plan for monthly or yearly subscription. So now we kind of understand how the database works. How are we going to add databases to our app? I'll give you a demonstration of how this app works. If I click on this, we can view the public Linktree page, okay? And you can see it has our Linktree account here, but there's no links. If we add a link here, okay, we would expect inside here to refresh the page and see the links, but we're not seeing those links. And the reason for this is because we haven't got any of those links saved in the database. There is no table to save those links. So what we're going to do is actually start building the tables out for this app. Okay, and this is really, really easy to do with CodeSpring. So far we have all of these different features here. We have an admin area, which is this area that you see here. We have link management, theme customization, live preview, and public page preview. Let's have a look at the files inside this template because it's actually really, really easy to understand. If we come to this folder here with labeled DB for database, we can open it and you can see we have a schema, a queries, and a migrations folder. Okay, if we collapse these and we go into the schema, you can see we've got two different schema. We've got profile schema and we've got pending profile schema. If we go back to our database, we've got profiles and pending profiles. So in other words, each of these files here is part of the database. Okay, so you can see if we go to profiles, we've got user ID, email, membership. Okay, if we come into our file here, we've got user ID, email, membership. So each one of these lines here is a column in our table. Okay, so all we need to do is create a file that explains what columns we need to save our data, okay, and then we can just have it showing up in the database. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. This will make a little bit more sense when we go through it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our app, and we want to create the ability to, every time we add a new link, we want to save those links to the database. if we come into our CodeSpring account, you can see we have these product requirement docs for each of the features. So for link management, if we come ahead and have a look at this, we can scroll down and you can see it's already started to plan out the stuff that we need for our database. In other words, we need to be able to have a label, we need to have the URL for that link, and it's going to save it all in the links schema table in our database. So if we come to our app, what we should see is a links-schema.ts, and then we need to somehow make that show up inside here. So we should see links, for example, as a table. So what do we need to do to get this done? We've already got these files here inside our app. We've got the link management, link preview, theme customization, okay? And these are the files here. So all we're going to do is we're going to come to the cursor chat for a second, and we're going to come back to our app. We're going to copy the URL for the page that we're working on, and we're going to say, when I add a new link, we need to save it to the database, okay? Please set this up. Okay, and then all we're going to do is tag PRD link management, and then we're also going to tag @db for the database folder here, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to use Claude 4 Sonnet for this, and we're just going to send this through, and the AI is going to figure out exactly how to do this for us. And because we're using the CodeSpring boilerplate here, all of these requirement docs that we've generated for each of these individual features knows how this boilerplate works and how to actually integrate with the database, which makes it really, really easy to set up databases and build things if we've built our app on top of the CodeSpring boilerplate and we've planned using this software here. And one of the really cool things with using CodeSpring requirement docs with the CodeSpring boilerplate is we don't really have to do anything. The AI is going to go ahead and read the documentation that's being created, and it's going to figure out, so you can see here, it's gone ahead and it's created the user ID, title, the URL, and a whole load of other bits and pieces that we might need later on. And it's just going through and building all of this stuff for us, so it's integrating the database straight away without us really having to worry about anything. Now, here's the really interesting thing that you may not understand about databases and integrating with databases. It's also creating a links queries folder. Now, I haven't actually gone through this yet, so I'll take this opportunity to show you. If we open the DB folder here, we have the links schema, pending profile schema, and profile schema. If we close that and go to the queries folder, we have profiles queries, pending profiles queries, and links queries. And basically, we have a schema and a queries folder. And inside, for example, if we go into the one that is just created for the links one, we've got links queries. We have got create a link. Okay, we've got get active links. We've got update a link, so if we want to update a link already in the database, we don't have to delete it and remake it, we can just change it. We've got delete a link, so if there's a link that we don't want, we can go ahead and delete it. So all of these things here are basically functions for changing and updating and maneuvering things inside the database. And all of that has been planned out using the CodeSpring boilerplate and the CodeSpring product requirement doc generator. So all of these requirement docs here are basically explaining how to go ahead and integrate the database and integrate these features. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's done everything that we need. All we need to do is go ahead and accept this stuff here. And now, in order to see if this is actually going to work, all we're going to do is come into our terminal. First of all, you can come to the database here. If we just refresh the database, you can see there is no table for the link tree stuff to save the links. Let's just refresh the app and make sure we've got no errors. So the app seems to still be loading. All we're going to do now is run in the terminal npm run db::generate. Okay, and let's just collapse all of these folders here. We come into the db folder, and what you're going to see is, in a second, you're going to see a file appear that's called 0001, which is basically going to be essentially what Cursor's tried to create here, a file to send that information over to the database inside Superbase. So it's really, really easy. So far, all we've done is planned out the app we want to build, given the documentation directly to the AI in a single prompt. It's created the queries for the links, and it's updated the actions for our link tree to be able to save stuff to the database. So what we're hoping now is we should be able to push that information and be able to see that table inside our database. So let's just give this a go. npm run db::generate. We're going to hit enter. Cool. So now it's created 0001 and it's given it some funky name. Now what we need to do is run npm db::migrate. Okay. And before we run that, you can see into Superbase, we still don't have the table. If we just run this command here, hang on, npm run db::migrate. So npm run db::migrate. I forgot to put the run in earlier. I'm just going to click enter. And you can see now, if we come back to our Superbase account and we refresh the page, look at that. We have a links folder, A links table, okay? So we have ID, user ID, title, and URL, okay? And if we come to the queries folder, we can come into the schema for links. You can see we have exactly what we have in Supabase, right? We have user ID, title, URL, okay? User ID, title, URL, order index, order index. So let's just see if this has actually gone ahead and integrated it into the front end. So before, when we created a link, if we refresh the page, that link wouldn't show up, okay? Now what we're going to do is just create a new link, and we're going to see if it shows up in the database. So let's just do CodeSpring app. Go ahead and create your account, by the way. Click on add link, and let's just come back to the database, and let's just see if it's created anything. I'm not sure if it will do, but let's just refresh the page. Cool, you can see just like that, we have the test and the URL in here, okay? Order index is 0. So if we go ahead and we add a new link, we can do test2, okay? And we can do https, google.com. We can add that link. We come back into our database, we refresh the page. You can see we now have test2, order index is 1, okay? So that's really, really cool. Okay, so now if we refresh the page, it still has that information saved. Let's just check the view public page. And now the public page also has those links available as well, because it's pulling that stuff directly from the database, which is awesome. Okay, so what we need to do now is let's just test this out. What if we swap the order of these around? What if we put Google on the top? Okay, let's just come back to, let's just come to our live page. Google should now be on the top. There we go, that's working. Come to our database, refresh the page, and hopefully we should see these are swapped around. So Google is now 0, CodeSpring is now 1, which is really cool, okay? Now what if we wanted to go ahead and edit the name? Well, let's just see if this works. So we haven't actually got the edit functionality working. So all we need to do now is come back into here, and we need to say, when I try to edit a link item, e.g. to edit the URL or the name card, I can't, okay? And we're going to tag PRD link management, and we're going to send that through. So while that's doing that, you can see just how quick and easy it is to start developing and building apps. We can plan them out really, really easily using these requirement docs. We give them to the AI, and it will just build us the integrations that we need, so we have the tables that we need in our database. So it's really, really simple to get set up. And if you're really confused about all of this and how this works, so you can see just how easy it is to start building features and integrating databases when you use a CodeSpring account. So I would go ahead, click the link down below in the description, or go to codespring.app, create your account, and go ahead and start planning out your idea, okay? Just literally just list out the idea, click on your starter template, and I recommend you use the CodeSpring starter template and hit generate with AI. What it will do is create you a mind map that looks like this. Now, if you want to go ahead and actually create these requirement docs here, and you want to use the CodeSpring boilerplate, you're going to have to upgrade to the Pro plan. Now, don't worry, you can try it for just £1 for a few days to see if it's worth it for you. So go ahead and click on the upgrade option to upgrade to the Pro plan. I think you can try it for £1, and it's £29. Okay, so it looks like it's gone ahead and it's made those changes for us. And again, we're not really writing any prompts here. We're just using those requirement docs from CodeSpring. So let's see if this has worked. So if we come back into our database here, we can just refresh. You can see we've got those 2 links already in our database. Now, let's say, for example, we wanted to change the name of these links. So CodeSpring, I want to put this first of all back at the top because CodeSpring is the most important software out there. We want to go ahead and click on edit. That seems to be working. We're going to go ahead and change the name from test to CodeSpring and click on save. Then we're going to go ahead and change the name of this one to Google, okay? And then we're going to click on save. So first of all, let's just come back into here. Let's just refresh the page. You can see we've got CodeSpring and Google. Those have now updated. So if we come into here, we should see these should update as well. Perfect. CodeSpring and Google. So now we have that integrated into our app. What happens if we go ahead and create a example, okay? Let's see if it lets us do this. HTTPS test.com, click on add link. Okay, we can see that's now come up in our database. What if we don't want that? Well, we can click on delete, and it looks like it's working for us. So if we come back into here, we can click on refresh, and it's no longer in our database. So CodeSpring makes it super easy to integrate databases into your app, not only just from generating these requirement docs, but you can see the power of using a boilerplate like CodeSpring. So all you need to do is click the link down below in the description, go ahead and create your account. You can mind map out your first idea for free, then grab access to the Pro plan to test out duplicating the boilerplate and creating your requirement docs. You can try it for just £1 for 3 days. I can guarantee you're going to massively speed up your process. We have a whole load of courses in here as well to show you how to get set up, what tools you need to do, how to integrate databases and understand Cursor, get the most out of AI coding, how to set up and duplicate the boilerplate. And then I recommend you watch this course here because it's going to show you how to build your first app entirely with AI using CodeSpring. You're going to get it deployed with its own database and user user account already set up. And there's loads of other features as well, which I'm not going to share with you just yet. I'll let those be a surprise for you guys. If you have any video ideas you want to see, let us know down below in the comments.